Ik ben Jorien en ik zou vandaag graag een wat langere bob willen met een wat lichter bruinere kleur erbij.
Yeah. Well, then was a long bob. She is cut by a friend, so that's why her hair is like this. Going for a nice classic bob and a new color, lighter color, and some money pieces in the front. Can je een rondje draaien?
Ja.
She turns around to show you how her hair is now. And then you can see how wonderful it went wrong. Not on both sides. Dankjewel. Hello friends. Got my model again. Now, she went to a friend in Corona time to do her hair. So now I'm gonna make a hairstyle of it. I really love when people do their own hair because when you don't learn the profession, it's the way you feel that you should cut the hair. And I mostly like it a lot. Start of course with protection. She wanted to look in a purple cape, so give her a purple cape.
Het lijkt haast blauw in de foto. Het lijkt haast blauw in de
dat
foto.
is licht hè.
Ja.
Start by wetting the hair. I saw already what I should do because when she wants to have a long bob, I have of course the length on the front. I'm gonna do it with a hot tool. And I'm gonna get into here so she still has long hair but all this goes off. Start by wetting the hair. Part hair over the skull bone and over the center of the skull onto the skull bone.
Is het handig als ik mijn oorbellen uitdoe?
Nee, daar heb ik geen last van. Dat is wel grappig oorbellen. And part it away, I can see still how long the front is. So I've got myself a guideline to the front. So when I watch through the hairs, I see the length on the front and I know where to go. Lay the hairs in the natural fall. Watch at the length of the hairs. Take the hairs down. Go in on the line of the falling of the hairs. Take the hairs over in the natural lines. Leave them in the natural lines. Go in from the sides. So I work from the side to the end of what I'm parting. I don't make hard lines. Start here at the part where I started to cut in the center, using the natural roundings. And don't make a hard line, leave it soft. This I do also because it's summertime. And in summertime I really love it when the hairs are not in a one hard straight line. So I love it when it's a little bit more playful. Part in the same line, pointing in the same lines to the parting line and to the length on the front. Wetting in between. By wetting the hair you can also see where you have to go. Start in the center. Watch through the hairs. So take the hairs up. Watch through the hairs to the underline. Go in on the underline and start a soft line. Then lift it on the line of cutting. Hold it near to the skin. And cut this bob line. The same I do on the other side. Take the hairs on the line of cutting. Watch through the hairs. Het mooiste is natuurlijk als je cameraman of vrouw hebt, die kan er gewoon mooi filmen.
Ja, zou je eigenlijk haast een student filmen en fotograferen?
Ja, maar je hebt hier niet in Nijmegen film en foto dingen zijn.
Nee, in Arnhem, bij de hand misschien?
Ja, weet ik.
Ja, Nijmegen niet ergens.
So you see I get a lot of volume in this bob, but also it's very playful and very soft in lines.
Multitasken wat dat betreft.
Ja. Take the hairs down again. Again, watch through the hairs. go on the line of cutting, knowing that this line will be certainly a bit shorter, so it gives a graduation effect, because when I take all the lines on this line, it will pull up a bit, so I get a nice flowing line. And the nice thing of this tool is that she don't get split ends for more than half year.
Dat is fijn.
Ja. Dat is het mooiste aan thermisch knippen.
Precies, want dan krijg je dat, ja, zeker als je bijvoorbeeld droog gaat of zo. Dan.
Ja, dan krijg je heel vlug gespleten punten.
Ja. Nu heb ik geen droog haar.
Nee. So when I put the skull a little bit straight, you can see this part belongs to there. This is the length we're going to work on, and you see the length is going that way. So I'm certain that I come at that part. Can always correct it a bit when I think it should be bending a bit like that. Take the hairs to the back, go in from the side, and take off only a minor part, not much. And still working in the soft lines. So I get a nice young, playful bob. Color work to the side. Take the hairs up in the eyebrow line. It's this opposite line of the chin line. Wet the hairs, take them to the back. Now there are two different lengths in this length, and when you wet them you don't see them anymore, but they're still there. Start on the back, using all the natural shapes. And work till they get on the line of the front. When I take them straight down, I can see that I'm on the line of cutting. Behind the ear there's a different shape because it's turning a bit, so I turn this also myself to the inside so I get a better fall of the hairs. Take a new line on it. In the center, take the hairs straight down. Connect them in a freehand style on the line, so don't force anything now. I just leave the hairs the way they are, just to get that young feeling into the bob line. Take the hairs again to the back. Lay them off the line of cutting. Go in at the front line. And connect them to the back. Knowing that I have some opposite shapes behind the ear, so take that into my line, go to the front, connect the line. See how much volume she gets by this line. Coming to the last part on this side. You can see that I'm on the line of the bob that was on the front, because this is the line of working. I don't take off anything of that length, only the ends. To give this playful effect, I start again in the center, turn a bit so you can see this. So I start in the center, just taking off a bit of the length, so to get a playful effect, not a hard line. Then take the hairs to the back, start on the line where I parted, where I decided which length it will be, and always softly correcting in between. That's the nice thing of working with a knife. You can always correct the line and go in if you think, oh, there maybe is something off. You can still get something off. Take the hairs to the back again. lay them in the natural rounding, start on the back, knowing that here is the opposite line of the fall of the skull. So go in and just adjust the line a bit. Then work to the front, connect both lines. The first part line that she already had, and I work on that line. So take the length she came with as my base length, and here is where I can see this. Now this side is ready. So I have a nice falling bob. Give some of the thickness. So you see I have a lovely, young, playful bob. Go to the other side. First part in the line of the neckline and the skull bone. Watch at the natural waving. Very important. When you have waves, you get different lengths. Start in the center, like I did. Creating the length I need. Don't force anything by pulling on the hairs. Just softly take the hairs up. Let them slip between my fingers. And lay the line of cutting on the line in the underlines, because I need that jumping up effect. I want that. Going to the front, watch at the front. Also here we have the opposite line. So I take the hairs in the opposite line. Take only the tip of my knife. And the nice thing is working with a hot tool, she don't feel anything of pulling or nothing of that. Daar heb je niks van, hè?
Nee, eigenlijk niet. Gaat heel makkelijk.
Yeah. A hot knife melts through the hairs. From the center, on the skull, on top, apart till I get in front of the ear. Start in the center line again, hold my knife flat.
Het is echt zo'n zomervakantiekapsel.
Ja, lekker hè?
Ja.
Ja, je kunt nog met een vlinder bovenop vastzetten of zo als je dat per se wil.
Met een vlinder?
Ja, met zo'n knijper of zo,
Oh.
iets geks. Again, because I'm on the fall now, I take this part also to the back, lay it in the natural lines, and correct the line a bit. Not too much, it's not much, but it's the natural waves. Watch at the line, get rid of some thickness. Wetting again. Turn a bit. Go in the line of the eyebrow lines. I know this because when I know what the chin line is, I know also what the eyebrow line is. It's also always the opposite line. Take the hairs to the back. Go in on the line of cutting. Don't force anything. Gently go in. It's very warm in the studio, so the hair dries very fast. Dat is het enige probleem van thermisch werken. Je moet wel water gebruiken.
Ja, waarvoor is dat?
Ja, anders kan ik de hitte niet in je haar krijgen. Ik kan hem niet zien.
Ah, liefjes.
For those who don't get this translated, when the hair is not wet, the heat of the tool cannot get into the hair, so it don't seals the proteins. And when the tool is 190 degrees Celsius, so it's a very hot tool, so it melts the hair at the end, and that's why it's sealed. Take a new line on it. Wetting again. Now normally we go for dark shades on her hair because she's more in line with that. Now we stay in this line because it's summer color, so I go to make a color that's in line of this color. But I can give her also some money pieces because then she has at the front a little bit the feeling of being a bit blonde, not too much. Just the fun part of it. Because you are staying in the same lines, I can work with glint colors on 2% base, so it's less than 10 volume. But I only change the character of the color a bit. Come at the front line. Now you see this front line is a little bit shorter, but it's always in the same line. So near to that is this line, and this is in line of her line. Otherwise it would be a pop like this, but that's much too short for her. She's a tall Dutch girl, so you don't need too short hair.
Ja, dat wordt typisch.
Ja, oké, zo'n lucifer wil je dan.
Ja, precies.
Dat zou ik helemaal niet mooi bij jou.
Dan krijg je een heel rond hoofd van.
Ja, dat
zo'n
klopt.
Lego pop.
Ja.
Ik heb het wel gehad toen ik een pixie had, want toen dat lang liet groeien.
Oh ja, ja, ja.
En op een gegeven moment krijg je dan een vrij ronde pop.
Ja, klopt. Ja, maar als je dat soort kapsels uit laat groeien, moet je eigenlijk gewoon mij als vriend hebben. Gewoon dat je iedere keer kunt zeggen, Theo, ik moet weer. Want er zitten zoveel tussenkapsels in die helemaal niet op een kapsel lijken.
Nee, het is een beetje bloempotkapsel.
Ja, het geeft een beetje een dom effect inderdaad. Dus als je de zijkantjes mooi kort houdt en je laat het dan bijgroeien, krijg je veel mooier effect.
Ja.
The only part I need to adjust now is this part, because it's still a little bit thick and it's in the opposite lines of the line. So I take this to the sides, go in with the tip, take a little bit off of the weight. Just peeling off some hair. So now I have a nice playful line. Also to the front. Now to be sure all the lengths are the same, I go to the center line, and also to be sure I have cut all the hairs, go to the center line, take the hairs up, lay my thumb on the hot knife, and take off only the center part. In the center it comes together, so you can always see the line. You can see this comes together, and this is the part that makes the difference. And it's also the part when this natural parting lays a little bit off. When you would not do this, the hairs would lay on the other side and look longer. And they're still in a good shape, but that when you do this, you don't have that problem.
Ja, alleen maar met het mes.
Ja. Nou, het is een mooi gereedschap hoor, een mes. Daar ben ik echt heel blij mee.
Waarvoor het misschien zelfs fijner werkt dan een schaar.
Ja, mooie lijnen. Now, so far the cut, so now I can make her a color. Okay, made her a glint color. It's a shadow color, it's toner. What I told you is on 2% base, so it's less than 10 volume. It's in line of her colors. So at this I apply. I take a photo of the products I used and the combination into the video, so you can see the photo, and I put it right now into the video. This I first apply on the hair, leave the hair in the natural fall, so you can see where it goes. And this adds some condition to the hair, but also shine and glow. Makes the hair more beautiful afterwards. No ammonia and nothing in this. It's a gentle, soft product. I use the natural parting of the hairs. You can already see the developing of the color. Made myself some plastic foils. Go in and lift only on the front. Working to the front and go a little bit thicker in line. Lift this up. Take this up. Take my foil. Lay it on the hairs. Lay the hairs on the foil. Made the bleed with 3% fat volume. And lay this over the color I'm using, because I get a better protection of the hairs, but I get also a much nicer effect, and I don't go near to the skin, so I stay a little bit away from the skin. This size had a little bit more hair because the follow for natural hair is parting a little bit off the center, so this part get a little bit more than the other side. With this I do on both sides. Now I start in front, but now I take smaller parts because this line can be a little bit softer of line. So wave in. So you have also a little bit diversity in color. You can see this is smaller of parting. And this I do also to get that summer feeling in the hair. Lay the foil on the hairs. Take my bleach. Stay away from the center and from the hairs that lay free, and only work on the plastic foil. So now we go for a coffee or tea. You just stay there, we'll be back in a second. Back from coloring. Now I'm going to style the hair. I use curls in a bottle. This gives extra protection for the hairs. It's a product of Attitude.
Oh, ruikt lekker.
Yeah. It's a really lovely smell. But it powers up hair always. Because it's made for dry hair. And so it gives moist to the hair, and that way condition. Come this product through the hairs. I'm gonna blow dry this with first medium large brush. And then gonna see what I do after that. Starting in the neckline. Clip it away. Of course, you can also blow dry this in the classic way, so you can also put it to the insides. Verder zet ik ook nooit zoveel erop. Die is interessant.
Ja, nee, hij is nu volgens mij wel aan het opnemen.
Ja, dat weet ik. Ik doe meestal wel, als ik begin in de neckline, doe ik een klein stukje laten zien.
Oh ja.
Ik vind dat belangrijk. Maar ik kleur het prachtig.
Heel goed.
Ja, ik kan het wel zien, hè. Die mee, hè, achter
Ik
de
kan nu
mikje.
al wel de stukjes goud, zeg maar, zien.
Ja, die gouden lapjes.
Ja.
Ja, leuk is dat, hè. Kijk hoe mooi deze kleuren aan elkaar belanden.
Heel mooi. Het ziet er ook heel natuurlijk uit of zo.
Ja, dat is ook de bedoeling, hè?
Ja.
Het moet niet zo zijn dat jij als een zebra op de straat gaat denken van, oh, dat is strepen.
Nee, precies op de duo-knop zie je dat op de nodig.
Ja, dat zie ik. Dus deze partij liggen, dan heb je wel veel meer kleur in de voorloop zitten.
Ja.
Dus je kunt heel mooi met je kleur spelen. Het duurt lang, hè, voordat het droog is, hè?
Ja.
Maar dat wordt wel een lange film, hè?
Gewoon niet editen, gewoon de hele film.
Nou, ik heb mijn aandacht op als een model weer, weet je. Dus dat is lekker voor film naar te kijken.
Het is wel een Frans kapsel.
Klopt.
Dat vind ik leuk.
Is het ook.
Frankrijk
En het is echt zo'n kapsel wat lekker aan zee is, en lekker in de wind.
Ja.
Het kan lekker waaien, het mag doen wat het wil. Zo flink in de kapsel, hè?
Ja.
Dus op de
Aan alle kanten op.
de straks stand dit. Hij kan echt wel harder.
Ja, dan blijft mijn kapsel eraf.
Ja, dat denk ik niet. So far blow drying. Lekker koffie.
Ja, ik vind de kleur echt heel mooi geworden.
Ik ook. Ik vind de kapsel mooi.
Ja.
Het is echt super leuk. Now you see how playful this is, and what I did is because here are less blonde lines. When I lay this over to the other side, she can camouflage the blonde at that side a bit. So she can be a little bit soft brunette without being brunette because it's still a blonde color. But then you can camouflage the light colors. So when you don't want this screamy effect of the blonde, you lay the dark lines over it. So you get a more sophisticated look. But now we go for the blonde lines. Get in some volume. Take a soft hairspray. And this is a flex hairspray, so you can still do anything with the hair you want. But when you use this in the underlines, you get a lot of volume and a nice playful effect. And also this smell is wonderful.
Ja, ik wilde net zeggen, als je dat ook zo lekker.
Creating some rest in the upper hair. This with a finger comb. And then with a little bit of flex spray, take the hairs a little bit back, not too much. Just to give it that natural lines. Now, thank her for being my model. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for the haircut.
You're more than welcome, love. She will certainly turn to show you the end result. And we see each other next video. Bye bye. Je mag.
Ja?
Ja. Super mooi. Dankjewel.
Ja, dankjewel. Hoi, ik ben Jorien en ik zou vandaag graag een wat langere bob willen met een wat lichter bruinere kleur erbij.
Yeah. Milan wants a long bob. She is cut by a friend, so that's why her hair is like this. Going for a nice classic bob and a new color, lighter color, and some money pieces in the front. Kun je een rondje draaien?
Ja.
She turns around to show you how her hair is now. And then you can see how wonderful it went wrong. Not on both sides. Dankjewel.
Oké, zo.
Ja.
En een beetje zo.
Het ziet er gelijk ook weer heel anders uit.
Ja.
Draai maar eventjes een klein beetje. Oh ja, het is echt super leuk. Die highlightjes die vallen er dan ook weer, als je ze wilt, gewoon heel leuk overheen.
Ja, het is heel natuurlijk.
Ja, absoluut. Nou, top.
Dankjewel. Ja, ik vind het zo'n
Absoluut.
mooie kleur.
Dat is heel mooi. Ja, maar kijk hoe mooi bij je ogen past ook. Je bent helemaal in lijn met je ogen.
Ja, ik heb wel een beetje die oogkleur of
Ja.
zo.